Hello everyone, I am Maria P. Fushia Cabanilla, your first presenter for this topic that is all about research in child and adolescent development. Teachers as consumer and user of research. Research enables teachers to come up with informed decisions on what to teach and how to teach. This involves decisions related to educational policies, curriculum, effective teaching, learning process, and even those involving research too. It gives important knowledge to use in policy making. It is also enable teachers on what to teach and how to teach. Teachers as researchers. To conduct research does not only belong to thesis and dissertation writers, it is also pursued on teachers too. So overall, teachers can be both consumer or end users of research and also as researchers. Since we've all talked about research, it is necessary to talk about scientific methods since research is a science inquiry. The scientific method, one of important principles of research is adherence to the scientific method since research is a systematic and logical process. And according to John Dewey, there are 5 steps in scientific method. To begin with, identify and define the problem. After you define your problem and you have a problem to determine the hypothesis on your educated guess of that problem. After that, you may proceed to collect and analyzing data. By testing your educated guess by collecting it, analyzing it. Then after that, you may proceed to formulate conclusion, then apply conclusion to the original hypothesis that to find out. Case study. An in-depth look at an individual. The strength of this study is to provide information about individuals' fears, hopes, fantasies, traumatic experiences, upbringing, family, relationship, health, and anything that helps a psychologist understand that person's development. The weaknesses of this study need to exercise caution with generalizing from the information. The subject of a study is unique with a genetic makeup and experiences no one else shares, involve judgment of unknown reliability, and that usually no check is made to see if other psychologists agree with others' observations. Correlational study. This research sign that determines association. This research strength useful because the more strongly two events are correlated, the more we can predict one from the another. Weaknesses of this research. Because correlational research does not involve the manipulation of factors, it is not a defendable way to isolate cause. Experimental research. A research design that determines cause and effect relationships. The strength of this research, the only true reliable method of establishing cause and effect. Weaknesses of this research. Experimental research is limited to what observable, testable, and manipulatable. Naturalistic observation. A research design that focuses on children's experiences in natural settings. The strengths of naturalistic observation. One of the advantages of this type of research is that it allows the researcher to directly observe the subject in natural setting. The weaknesses is the advantages of naturalistic observation include the fact that it can be difficult to determine the exact cause and behavior, and the experimenter cannot control outside variables.
Number 5. Description. This research design studies and follows to a single group over a period of time. Strengths allowed them to record and monitor development trends. Weaknesses, they are expensive and time-consuming. Number 6. Cross-sectional. Description. A research strategy in which individuals of different ages are compared at one time. Strengths allows them to record and monitor developmental trends. Weaknesses, it gives no information about how individuals change or about the stability of their characteristics. Number 7. Sequential. Description. This is the combined cross-sectional and longitudinal approaches to learn about lifespan development. Strengths. It provides information to obtain from cross-sectional or longitudinal approaches. Weaknesses. It is complex, expensive, and time-consuming. Number 8. Action research. Description. Action research is a reflective process of progressive problem solving led by individuals working with others in teams or as part of a community of practice to improve the way they address issues and solve problems. Strengths. Appropriate in a particular setting when the purpose of study is to create changes and gain information on processes and outcome of the strategies used. Weaknesses typically take place in one organization only at a particular time and could not be interpreted within different organizations in the same way. Therefore, research findings are hard to generalize. Data gathering techniques. Number 1. Observation. Observations can be made in either laboratory or materialistic settings. In naturalistic observation, behavior is observed in the real world like classroom, home, and neighborhood. Psychological measures. Certain indicators of children's development such as, among others, heart rate, hormonal levels, bone growth, body weight, and brain activity are measured. Number 3. Standardized tests. There are prepared tests that assist individuals' performance in different domains. These tests are administered in a consistent manner. Number 4. Interviews and questionnaires. Involves asking the participants to provide information about themselves based on the interview or questionnaire given by the researchers. Gathering of data may be conducted through a printed questionnaire, either the telephone, by mail, in person, or online. Information is obtained by utilizing standardized procedures so that every participant is asked the same questions in the same manner. It entails asking participants for information in some structured format. Number 5. Life history records. These are records of information about a lifetime chronology of events and activities. These often involve a combination of data, records on education, work, family, and residence. These include public records or historical documents or interviews with respondents. And that's all. Thank you.
Ethical principles. Ethical principles provide a generalized framework within which particular ethical dilemmas may be analyzed. So, ethical principles is important because it provides a generalized framework just to understand, analyze, and have a guide in conducting our research. Details of these ethical principles are found in documents. Number 1. Ethical Standards of the American Educational Research Association. Number 2, Ethical Standards for Research with Children, Society for Research in Child Development. Number 3, Standards of the American Psychological Association concerning research. The following consideration for researches conducted with young children and other vulnerable population. National Association for the Education of Young Children, or NAEYC. Some key points are: number 1, research procedures must never harm children physically or psychologically. So in conducting a research, the most important to consider is the safeness of the children and or the students. Number 2, children and their families have the right for full information about the research in which they may participate, including possible risks and benefits. Their decision to participate must be based on what is called informed consent. So, not just the teachers have the right for full information, but also the children or students and their parents, in order for them to participate, give different ideas, and taking the risk and benefits. And of course, their participation should be based in informed consent. Number 3, children's questions about the research should be answered in a truthful manner in ways that children can understand. So teachers must answer the students' or children's questions in a good way, or he or she must provide an examples about the questions so that the students will able to understand what is being asked. Number 4, there should be respect for privacy. Information obtained through research with children should remain confidential. So we have to consider also the privacy of the children, because not all information you've gained from them are shareable. Impact of teachers' research involvement on teachers. Number 1, teachers who have been involved in research may become more reflective, more critical and analytical their teaching, and more open and committed to professional development. Oha and Pine, 1989, Harrison, 1996, Keyes, 2000, and Rust, 2007. So, as a teacher, if you are involved in research, of course, you are expected to be more reflective, have more critical and analytical teaching skills, because you've gained a lot of knowledge or ideas about the research. Number 2, participating in teacher research also helps teachers become more deliberate in their decision making and actions in the classroom. So as a teacher, if you are involved in the research, you are expected to be good in deliberating your decision making and making actions or plans in the classroom for these students. Number 3, teacher research develops the professional dispositions of lifelong learning, reflective and mindful teaching, and self-transformation. Mills 2000 and Stringer 2007. Number 4, engaging in teaching research at any level may lead to rethinking and reconstructing what it means to be a teacher or teacher educator, and consequently, the way teachers relate to children and students. So as a teacher, you have more ideas on how you will going to teach your students in a good way, just to become more effective and your relationship become more stronger. Number 5, teacher research has the potential to demonstrate to teachers and prospective teachers that learning to teach is inherently connected to learning to inquire. Burko et al. 2007. So, as you involve in the research, as a teacher, you have the potential to show or prove to your fellow teachers that learning to teach and learning to inquire is connected to each other. So, overall, when conducting a research, it must be ethical, generalized, and the participants anonymous. Especially with the young children, you need informed consent by the parents because they have the right to know and decide what to do. Then, if the teachers are involved in the research, they might learn something new to probably improve, adjust, or adapt to the results of the children's thoughts and questions. So, that would be all. We hope that you like our video reporting. God bless everyone.